Picture this: a world where the Middle East remains a unified superpower, European colonialism never redraws its borders, and the word genocide isn't tied to Armenia. All of this could have happened if the Ottoman Empire made one critical choice in 1914, staying out of World War I. Today we're rewinding history to ask, what if the Ottomans never joined the war? By 1914, the Ottoman Empire was on life support. Once a titan straddling 3 continents, it had lost territories in Europe, struggled with economic collapse, and earned the nickname, the Sick Man of Europe. But when the Great War erupted, Ottoman leaders faced a crossroads. Germany offered an alliance, promising protection and power. The Ottomans hesitated. Some ministers pushed for neutrality. What if they'd listened? Let's explore 3 earth-shaking consequences. If the Ottomans avoided the war, their first priority would be survival. Without the catastrophic losses of WWUSI, nearly 1 million soldiers dead, famine, and economic ruin, the empire could have focused on reforms. Young Turk reformers were already pushing for modernization, railroads, secular schools, and industrial hubs. A neutral Ottoman state might have mirrored Japan's Meiji Restoration, blending tradition with technology. Imagine Istanbul as a 20th century crossroads of trade and innovation, not a relic. Critically, the empire's Arab provinces might have stayed loyal, avoiding the British-backed revolts that fractured the Middle East. No Sykes-Picot agreement, no arbitrary borders splitting tribes and cultures. The ripple? A stronger, more stable Middle East today. And perhaps no ISIS, no Syrian civil war. The Ottomans' collapse was a gold rush for European powers. Britain seized Iraq and Palestine. France took Syria. But if the empire survived, colonialism hits a roadblock. No mandates, no puppet states. Instead, the Ottomans become a buffer against European expansion. Oil, the lifeblood of the 20th century, stays under Ottoman control. No British petroleum in Iran. No US alliances with Saudi Arabia. Global power tilts eastward earlier. But here's the twist. Without WWI's devastation, the Ottoman Empire remains a multi-ethnic, multi-religious state. Armenians and Greeks aren't scapegoated for wartime losses. The Armenian genocide? Potentially avoided. Yet tensions linger. Reform doesn't erase centuries of inequality. Would the empire face internal revolts anyway, or evolve into a pluralistic federation? The Ottoman Sultan was also the caliph, the spiritual leader of Sunni Muslims. When the empire fell, the caliphate was abolished, leaving a vacuum. Pan-Arabism and Wahhabism filled the gap, reshaping the Muslim world. But if the caliphate survived, Islam's political center stays in Istanbul, not Mecca. The Saudi dynasty, allies of the West and promoters of strict Wahhabism, never rise to dominance. No oil-rich Saudi kingdom, no 9/11, some argue. Meanwhile, the Ottomans' Sufi-influenced, tolerant Islam counters extremist ideologies. Muslim-majority nations from Indonesia to Nigeria look to Istanbul, not Riyadh or Tehran, for leadership. But there's a catch. A surviving caliphate could clash with rising secular movements. Would it adapt or spark new revolutions? So what's the verdict? A neutral Ottoman Empire might have saved millions of lives, prevented a century of Middle Eastern chaos, and reshaped global Islam, but history's never that simple. Power vacuums, internal strife, and the tides of modernity don't disappear. One thing's certain, the Ottomans' choice in 1914 didn't just alter their fate, it reordered the world. Could we be living in a hotter, wealthier, and more connected planet today? Or would the empire's survival create new problems? Let me know your take below. And don't forget to like, share, and dive into our next mind-bending What If. Until then, keep questioning history.
This is Bites of Goats, where we don't just talk about history, we learn from it. See you in the next one.